Another one of the major counterproductive attitudes, which leads to counterproductive behavior, which we can work on with our spirituality, is self-criticism, negative self-image, self-judgment. And of course, we're not doing psychology here, so it's we have to stay away from that. But too often, we carry around these ideas in our mind where we judge ourselves very harshly, where we carry the pain and guilt and blame of past failures or shortcomings or even wrongdoings. And these things bind us to a reality that is inside our mind that we could change. Now, in the Christian church, the term for this practice has been confession of sin. And yet that's a heavily loaded term, which is very off-putting for a lot of people because it brings to mind a harsh, judgmental, punishing God who's going to get us, to whom we can never live up to. And but what happens if you reframe it and think, why don't I start with myself? Why don't I look at how I look at my life and who I am and what I look like and what I do and what I accomplish and how everyone else is doing compared to me, and learn how to see yourself with compassion and non-judgment, just seeing, and if you like, even cradling that person in your arms and saying, it's okay. That was then, and that's past, and lifting it up. So here's a practice for you to try. And you can begin with just a day. So either last thing before you go to bed, or first thing in the morning, reflecting on the previous day. And think about your day and the way you were. And what are those moments that stab you with feeling not enough, not good enough, bad, ugly, fat, stupid, failure, and just lift them up and say, well, maybe I do need to go apologize, and that's good, but maybe that's just the best I could do at that time, or maybe I'm just being too harsh on myself. And as you work through this practice, you can work your way back in life to those moments that you really are ashamed of, embarrassed about, and just start letting go. In the confession that we do in church, we lift it up to God. But the point is that it's lifted up and lifted off, and you feel lighter. But I think most people do their confession and they don't actually let go. They just lift it up and flagellate themselves with us. And that leads to this counterproductive behavior and attitudes that will get in the way of you being who you might really be, who you already are, if you can just get around it. So try this practice and see what happens.